सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Yeah, Prasad, if you can unmute yourself. अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः
अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
प्रकृतिं पुरुषं चैव
प्रकृतिं पुरुषं चैव
क्षेत्रं क्षेत्रज्ञमेव च
क्षेत्रं क्षेत्रज्ञमेव च
एतद्वेदितुमिच्छामि
एतद्वेदितुमिच्छामि
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं च केशव।
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं च केशव।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवान् उवाच
इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय
इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय
क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते
क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते
एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः
एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः
क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः।
क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः।
Yeah. So we started this chapter with Arjuna's question, which does not appear in some versions of the Bhagavad Gita. So we added that version that is useful to include because it starts with Arjuna's question. And if you look at most chapters start with a question by Arjuna. Arjuna's question is our own question. And here Arjuna introduces six terms. We talked about terms last time. They're called paribhasha shabdaha. Just like every field has technical terms which mean something in that particular field, the same term may appear in another field, means entirely different. Okay. Like pressure in the medical field is different from pressure in meteorological field. It's all different. Same word. atmospheric pressure versus blood pressure. So like that, you've got many terms like. So here, 6 terms are being introduced. The fact that Arjuna is saying these words, which are all opposites, Prakriti, opposite of Chitta, Kshetram, opposite of Kshetrajnaha, we'll see all that. Okay, go ahead and mute yourselves, please. Yeah, if the moderator can do all time and mute everybody. Thank you. Okay, and then Jnanam and Nyayam. Okay, they are not opposites, but we'll come to that. So the fact that he's used this word shows that Arjuna already knows a lot. Already knows a lot. Okay, and so we were looking at this shloka last time, and Prakriti. Prakriti means what? We saw this in one of the previous chapters, 7th chapter, I think, where Prakriti was used. Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti. That is how Krishna had used it there. And there, Apara Prakriti means the entire material world. Para Prakriti is Parameshwara, Ishvara. That's how it was there. Here, Prakriti means that entire material world, Apara of that chapter. Okay. And then the opposite of Prakriti is Purusha, the sentient being, Ishvara, Jiva, that is Purusha. Okay. And everything that is the object of that sentient being is Prakriti. So we're going to see in detail all these things. Okay. And then Kshetram Kshetrajnaha. Okay. Same thing. Kshetram is Prakriti. Kshetrajna is Purusha. Okay. Synonyms. Slight differences are there, technical differences, but for now, they're all synonyms. Okay. Nyayam. Nyayam is what ought to be known. What ought to be known. Get that, those words. Nyayam is what ought to be known. What ought to be known? Well, I am an expert at knowing a lot of things in this world, and they're all called different sciences. Different sciences. Whatever you want, you can study and you can get a degree, and your whole life, you can profess your whole life. That's why it's called a profession. And so, and your hobbies are there. Okay, you have a profession on one side, weekends you have a hobby, and all that is great. All that will come under not Nyayam. Here, Nyayam refers to what ought to be known. You're knowing a lot of things, my dear friend, but you're skipping one very important thing. And that is called Purusha. That is called Kshetrajnaha. And that ought to be known. Nyayam. And Jnanam can mean 2 different things. Jnanam means knowledge. Knowledge of anything is Jnanam. But here again, Krishna uses it in 2 contexts. One is knowledge of the self, knowledge of Purusha, knowledge of Kshetrajna is called Jnanam. And very interestingly, a set of 20 verses, 20 values, values and attitudes which are essential in our life to prepare ourselves for this Nyaya Vastu, that which ought to be known, okay, to prepare ourselves. And that values are so important according to Krishna that he calls them as Jnana. He's going to say, we're going to see that. He calls the values itself as Jnana. If you got these values, everything else is a cakewalk. That's what he's going to say. Okay? So, we translated this, didn't we? This shloka? No, we did not. We did not. Okay, all right, got it. So let's do that. 13.1, we're going to translate. Prakritim Purushan Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnameva cha Etad Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Nyayam cha Keshava. Etad Veditum Ichchami. This I want to know. Vedit, clear. He's very clear about his question. Okay. Krishna has no room to wiggle around. No wiggle room is there, Etad veditum ichcham. So let's see. Arjuna said, translation. Arjuna said, because Arjuna uvacha, I wish to know this. O Keshava, within brackets, Krishna. I wish to know this. What are those? Prakriti, you can put a hyphen. Prakriti and Purusha. Semicolon. The field and the knower of the field. The means of knowledge and what is to be known. The means of knowledge and what is to be known. Once again, Arjuna said, I wish to know this Keshava, Prakriti and Purusha, the field and the knower of the field, the means of knowledge and what is to be known. How did we translate? This is Swamiji's translation. Jnanam is translated as means of knowledge, right? Not knowledge, but means of knowledge. Why? Because he's going to refer to values as jnanam, and therefore values becomes a means for us. Okay, and Kshetra and Kshetrajna, I'm not sure I explained much. We're going to talk about it in the next shloka. It's going to come here. So next shloka is about that. So now we can wait for that. Kshetra means literal meaning. I think we know what the general meaning of Kshetra is. A place is called Kshetra. An agricultural piece of land is also called Kshetram. And so a place which is available for you to play around. To do whatever you want to do is called a Kshetra. What about Kshetrajna? Kshetram janati iti Kshetrajnaha. The one who knows the field means the knower of the field. Knower of the Kshetra is called Kshetrajna. That what appears to be a suffix nya is an important word called knower of. Knower of. The knower of Kshetra is called Kshetra. Okay. So let's chant this next shloka. Yeah, Kalpana. Shri Bhagavan Okay.
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Idam shariram kaunteya
इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय
kshetramityavidhiyate
क्षेत्रमित्रभिधीयते
etadyo vetti tam prahuhu
एतद्यो वेति तं प्राहुः
kshetrajna iti tadvidah.
क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः
Again, Shri Bhagavan
श्रीभगवानुवाच
idam shariram kaunteya
इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय
kshetramityavidhiyate
क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते
etadyo vetti tam prahuhu
एतद्यो वेति तं प्राहुः
kshetrajna iti tadvidah.
क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः
Yeah, can mute yourself. So generally, we follow an alphabetical order. We found that to be convenient. So if your name is coming close to that person, you can be ready. So in this shloka, look at this. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidiyate. He's answering one part of the six. Okay? Kshetram. That is us. He's saying kshetram iti abhidiyate is known as kshetra. Something is known as kshetra. Hey kaunteya. Hey kunti putra. Okay, because you are kunti putra, you know. And so since there is nobody else around, no other Kunti Putra around, I can call you Kunti Putra and you will respond, right? Because fathers are there, then everybody will, can you call me? And all they will say, you know. So now Kaunteya is perfectly fine. And what is known as Kshetram? Idam Shariram. Okay? This body. Okay? We're going to spend some time on this, okay? This class is not going to be just translating shlokas. In Facebook, where I go to Facebook occasionally, once a month or so, I just go to Facebook, once a month, month and a half. And so after announcing our courses, just 2-3 days ago, I went to Facebook and some of these posts were there and somebody had responded to our announcement, Bhagavad Gita class announcement, and said, oh my God, 4 months for one chapter? Like that, they said. And the person who posted that original posting responded, yeah, it takes properly understand these things will take some time. Like that, they had posted. So we want to understand properly whether it is through one shloka, 10 shlokas, or 10 chapters, or 18 chapters. Finally, understanding must be crystal clear. And so we are not here to check box. I studied chapter this, I studied this chapter, then I studied. No, we're not here to check those boxes. Okay. So that's our Asha Parampara, Swamiji's Parampara. So, Kshetra, he starts with Kshetra. And the word Kshetra means, we just said what the meaning is. It comes from the Sanskrit root called, there are many meanings that can be given to this. Chi means Chayam, Chayane, means in the sense of declining, in the sense of wasting away, in the sense of degenerating. Okay, in the sense of that, in that sense, this Kshi Dhatu is used, and Kshetram is derived from that Dhatu, and therefore, agricultural land is there. I mean, this particular field is there. Okay, anything which you can say is not permanent, which is changing, which is declining, is called Kshetram. Okay, that is the first meaning of this Kshetra. Okay, and Chayam. So, we have this word Akshaya, right? Akshaya means what? That which doesn't decline is Akshaya. That which doesn't change. That which is permanent. That's why we call our children Akshaya, Akshaya. And our Arjuna also used the word Shaya many times. Where?
Akshayam Paramam Brahmam. Aksharam.
That is Aksharam Paramam Brahma. That I think that Krishna used that word. Arjuna introduced this word Shaya. Okay, in the first chapter, okay, Yadyapye Tena Pashyanti Lobopahata Chetasaha Kulakshayakritam Dosham Mitradrohe Cha Patakam. Like that in the first chapter. We did that many years ago. And he talks constantly, okay? Katham na Nyeyam Asmavihi Papadasman Nivartitum Kulakshayakritam Dosham. Again, next shloka, Kulakshayakritam. He is lamenting, like, like as though the sky is falling, right? And he says, even though these people don't have any idea about what is Papa Karma, and they are doing all kinds of stuff, what about us? We're all knowledgeable people about Punyam, Papam, what is Dharma, Adharma, and all that. And then now you're asking me to kill all these people? Krishna, what about us? At least we should behave responsibly, because what happens in this war, he is very clear that everybody is going to, this massacre is going to happen in this war. Okay. Kulakshaya kritam. He talks about kulakshaya is going to happen. Already used that word. Kulakshaya means this whole this family will be gone. People won't even, this gotra will be gone. Like Parashurama decided to just finish off. Like that, the whole Varna might be gone. That is his concern, because this is going to be a massive war. The teams of people, the entire India was divided into two. So it's going to get destroyed. So he uses the Kulakshaye Pranashyanti, like that. He keeps talking about Kshaya all the time. And then the 10th chapter also, Akshara Anamakarosmi. Okay. Dvandvasamasika cha ahameva kshaya kalaha. I am the Akshaya Kala, like that Krishna talks, right? Akshaya Kala. I am time, which is Akshaya. Time, nobody can destroy time, like that he says. Okay. So anyway, so the word Kshaya is not new to us. Okay. So that Kshetram, okay, refers to that that sense of change, decline, disintegration, which eventually leads to disappearance, nasha. Okay. Like Shadvikara, we've seen Shadvikara before. Asti, Jayate, Vardate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Vinashyate. Okay. That is the so-called 6 forms of changes of a human body. Okay. Human being. Okay. Now, Idam Shariram Kaunteya. What is the Kshetram? Krishna is saying Shariram Kaunteya. Okay. Shariram. Shariram means what? Commonly known as body. Refers to the body. This body is called Sharir. Shariram is a very loaded word. Comes from the root Shri. Shri means to decay. In case you're wondering. Shri means to decay. So that Pratikshanam Kshiyamanaha Shariram. That which decays every kshanam, every second, that is called Shariram. Okay. So suppose we're all proud of our shariram. We're all proud of our shariram. We've been in this for a long time now, and poor thing. And I've been teasing it, I've been criticizing it, I've been applauding it and all. But guess what? It's changing all the time. And even science says something. Science says, this white blood cells. I mentioned this some time ago. I don't mind repeating it. White blood cells, the lifespan of that is 12 days. 12 days. That's it. Red blood cells, okay, is about 120 days. Bone cells, they call osteocytes. Bone cells lifespan can vary from a few days to some 100 plus days. They say average is some 15 days. Okay, there are some doctors in this class, in the satsang, they can comment. That means what? That means if you come to my place and visit me, say 3 months from now, 4 months from now, my whole body has changed completely. All the cells are dead and gone. This person you're seeing me is a new person. Because all white blood cells gone in 12 days. RBC is gone in 120 days. Bone cells gone completely. Even though it looks like the same person, it's really not the same person. This is mind-boggling to me. This is mind-boggling. It gives you the appearance that it is the same person. At best, you can say, oh, it's been 5 years since I saw you. You've aged a lot. Okay, aged a lot. In fact, we should say, you've died 20 times. That is a correct statement. You've been dead 20 times. That's the correct statement. And therefore, you're fresh now. You're only 10 days old. That would be nice. So now how much science is there in this one word called Sharira? How much philosophy is embedded in that word? Look at Sharira. Therefore, now, and there is another word in Sanskrit for this body. That word is called deha. Okay? It's called deha. Deha. And deha, look at the meaning for the word deha. It's just mind-boggling to me. Tapatraya pidiyate iti deha. That which is victimized by tapatrayam, which is tormented by three types of things. Okay, what are those three things? Tapatrayam. I think all of you know what this tapatrayam is. We repeat anyway. Tapatrayam is, there are so many things in this world that affect me. Okay, from my family onwards, my job. I was happy when I got the job, but today I am sitting and crying because I'm depressed because no job satisfaction. My boss doesn't understand me. My colleagues are taking advantage of me. Really. So again, tormenting. All these are tapa. Tapa in my surroundings, things that are related to me. Okay. Okay. This is called Adi Bhautika Tapam. Next. Next is the tapam that is there right in my own body, my health. That's enough. Lifelong, I am victimized by my own body, mind. That's it. Everything goes fine. Suddenly, there is some pain. Some pain somewhere. You thought the pain will go away. You'll take some paracetamol or Tylenol. After some time, it doesn't go. It's only increase. Body pains, mind. Mind is constantly there. Body is good. Mind is always doing a routine on us, right? And so this is called Adhyatmika Tapam. What is the first one? Adi Bhautika Tapam. Immediate surroundings. Bhautika mean can be anything. And then last, things over which you have no control. This Adi Bhautika, I may have some control. Some control. Family members, I can tell them my problem. I have a way to control that problem. I can go to the doctor for Adi Bhautika problems. Some control I have, discipline. I can lead a life of discipline. I have some control. But there is something where I have absolutely no control. It's called all these natural forces, disasters, volcanoes, storms, rain, cyclones, the tornadoes, all these things are called Adi Daivikata. Daivikata. That is attributed to Deva, uncontrollable. You might be able to predict it, but you can't control it. The only way to escape that is to evacuate, do things like that. But you can't stop what's going to happen, right? So, three times of tapam. Tapatrayat pidiyate iti dehaha. And because of this tapatrayam also, we keep saying Shanti three times. We ask why three times? Because these three tapas are addressed. Let those three tapas be neutralized by these three Shantis, utterances. That's by the way. Okay, so this deha, the body, is that which is tormented by these three tapas, it seems, therefore called deha. And what about dahyate iti deha? Dahanam. I think all of you know the word dahanam. That which is worthy of being burnt. Means along the things that can be burnt, this also you can include in that list of things. Okay. It's called dehaha. Okay. Then, and in this life only I'm tormented. No, next life also tormented continuously. And therefore, punarjanmana vidyate. This is going to be endless, according to the Shastra. Okay. So dehaha, shariram, and Krishna says this is called kshetram. This is one meaning. What is one meaning? That declining, spoiling, wasting away. That is one meaning. For kshetram, another meaning is what? Kshetratvat va, like that Shankaracharya says. See, Bhagavad Gita has to be taught with Shankaracharya behind, following Shankaracharya. Otherwise, we will we will go all over the place. Teachers of Bhagavad Gita can be creative, but they can't be creative in terms of meanings and all. Because meaning Mahavakyam already decided. Jiveshwara Aikyam is decided. Final Tatparyam is decided. At least Advaita Veda. So now what room is there for the teacher? Only some examples can be different. Okay. To clarify a particular point. That's all. And so Shankaracharya says Kshatratvatva, Kshetratvatva, or like an agricultural field, agricultural piece of land. That also is called Kshetram, he says. And why is that? What is the connection between, why do you bring that here? Well, just because that field is so critical for us, that's where everything happens. What do you mean everything happens? Okay, you need a Kshetram for living, no doubt. But then even more important, how am I going to sustain myself? Annam is needed, food is needed. Every grain that is consumed by every human being and animal on earth comes from Kshetram, comes from the agricultural land only. Nowhere else food comes from. Okay. No, I eat fish in the morning, fish in the afternoon, and fish in the night. It doesn't come from earth. Okay, include that as part of Kshetra box. Include water bodies also as part of Kshetra. That's all over. I'm sure they do water agriculture in some place. Water is needed for agriculture. By the way, lot of water is used for sugar cane and all. So, water is important. No, I eat beef in the morning, beef in the afternoon, and beef in the night. This eating beef has become such a pandemic. It is just destroying the world. No, I eat beef. Therefore, no. That cow also requires grains, which is all grown in the kshetra only. Cow also needs. So kshetra, correct? So kshetra dva, two meanings are given to the word kshetra. Okay. And so what is the connection between agricultural land and the body? Yeah. The connection is like this. This body, I've been with this body all along. This body and me are totally connected. I've been with at day one, this body, now also this body after 50, 60, 70 years. Okay, this same body. All the actions I did emanated from this body only. I used this body to execute everything I wanted to get whatever I wanted. I used this body and mind only. Okay, so this is the operating field. The operating system is this. My operating system is this. Computer's operating system is the Microsoft Office or something like, not Office, Microsoft Windows, not Office, sorry, Windows. But this Windows of this body is here. This body is my Windows operating system. This is my window to the entire world. How I appreciate the world depends on what is there in my head. If my ideas are all very limited, gross, then my appreciation of the world is going to be very gross. If I can appreciate music, then my understanding of the world becomes bigger. If I can appreciate poetry and some other philosophy, then my whole outlook changes dramatically. It's all this body and mind only. And therefore, that in this body and mind being that playground, for me to get what I want, karma, karma phalam, karma, karma phalam. Phalam, karma phalam is result of karma. All that has been happening here only. And therefore, this body is the kshetram. That's the connection. It's a kshetram. It's a playing field for me. Okay. And so, what did Tattvabodhakara say? Sthula Shariram is what? What is Sthula Shariram?
Gross body.
And it is defined as Sukha Dukkha Bhoga Ayatanam, he had said. That receptacle, that container in which all things are happening, every minute, that is called Kshetram here. And what did he call Shukshma Sharira to be? Tattvabodhakara? Sukha Dukkha Bhoga Sadhanam. The means for Sukha and Dukkha is this Shukshma Shariram, subtle part, its senses and mind. And this thing is the container. Both are clubbed into one here by Krishna, calling Kshetram. This body is the Kshetram. Okay. Okay. Now, we still have some ways to go. Okay. Now, why did Krishna exclude this entire world under Kshetram? Because Kshetram means the whole. Everything that I perceive. Whole means what? Whole world means what? Everything that I perceive. Anything that I can experience is Kshetram. Now we are broadening the definition of Kshetram, right? From what Krishna said, we'll see why Krishna talked about Shariram. But now look at Kshetram as anything that's out there that I can experience. Anything that's out there that I can perceive. That means the house, the tree, the people out there, the streets, the cities, the countries, the planets, the solar system, an object of my perception. It is meant for, it is experienceable. Entire galaxies. What about unknown galaxies? Yes, unknown galaxies can be known later, can be perceived later, can be studied later. Okay, all that is Kshetram. What about black hole? Kshetram or not? Okay, I've heard of black hole. I don't know what it is. They say it's the origin of the universe and Big Bang and all. It's all connected. But guess what? That is also Kshetram. You know why it's Kshetram? It's Kshetram because it's available for study. It is available for my perception, my understanding. It's a concept. Concept is also an object of my understanding. Whatever I objectify is Kshetram. What about heaven? What about Vaikuntha and Kailasa? Is it Kshetram or not? Yeah, many of you are shaking your head. So I hope you mean yes, it is also Kshetram. Why? Hey, come on. Summer vacation is there. I go with my family and children for vacation. Where do you go? Chennai. I'm not going to go to. I'm in Chennai. Why will I go for a vacation in Chennai? This is ridiculous. You have to go somewhere else. You have to go to. These days, Kashmir is a place to go. Security has tightened up. Life has coming back to normalcy. So those are the places you would go. You have some money to spend. So go to some place that you've never been. That is called vacation. And if Srinagar is a place for you to do vacation, Vaishno Devi temple you want to go. Great. What about Swarga? Swarga is what? Another place which you can go to. Many people say that's the place to go. Okay. Place to go, right? Yes. And God is also there? Yes. Okay, great. Place to go with different sets of people? Great. So that is also Kshetram. Because it's a place I look forward to go to. Yeah. So therefore, Kshetram. That means what? All the 14 lokas. Our Chatram talks about 14 lokas. That's how it is. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala, Tala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. 7 lower lokas. And then 7 up. In America, they have a drink called 7 up. These fellows are very smart. They borrow all ideas from us and then just suppress the sources. 7 up. I used to wonder 7 up. What is this? Seems very familiar. 7 up. It's familiar. It's familiar because it's all coming here. Hu, Bhuvaha, Subhaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Every day we say it 3 times. We are chanting in Sandhya Vandanam. It comes. That is why it was familiar when I first heard of 7 up. Anyway, these 14 lokas also Kshetram. Why? Because it's a place you can go to. Good. Any place, anything that's out there for you to experience, to perceive here or later or much, much, much later. It's all part of the kshetra. Okay? And then, uh, this Krishna doesn't talk about all these galaxies and all. He's talking about body. Okay, he's talking about body. Now, let's talk about the body. I'm hurting. If I say, where are you hurting? The leg is hurting. Okay, leg is hurting. That means that's experienced. The pain is experienced by me, and the leg is the object of my experience. And there is somebody who's experiencing that pain. Okay, and therefore the body has to be kshetram per our definition. It has to be kshetram. I'm hurting. Where are you hurting? Knee? No. Below the knee. Calf? No, no. Oh, heel. Ankle? Heel? No, no, no. Further. Oh, toe. The big toe. No, no, no. Even further. Oh, you mean the small toe? Yes, small toe. The poor small toe, we never pay attention to the small toe at all. Constantly looking at the face in the mirror all day, pulling up this mirror, looking up like this, if I'm okay or not. And face is getting all the attention. Poor toe is so jealous of the face. And that toe today is hurting, doctor. And guess what? That day, the whole attention is on the toe, small toe. The doctor is looking at it. Nurses are there from all sides. This light is shining on the small toe because the doctor is trying to find out what the problem is. Finally, the toe got its day. Finally. Guess what? That toe is also an object of my experience. It is the object of everybody, all nurses, doctors also. It is the object of their experience also. And so, body is definitely kshetram. Correct? Body is kshetram. Whether I know it or not. What about mind? What about kidney? Kidney kshetram or not? Your doctor will tell you it's kshetram, whether you know it or not. Doctor, you can ask. Yeah, it's kshetram. We know. We do all kinds of stuff with kidneys. We transplant also. We just take your kidney out and put another kidney inside. Really? That means I can live without this kidney. Yeah, in fact, they say you can live with one kidney also. That means kidney kshetram. Can't be anything other than kshetram. It's an object. It's an object of my perception. It's an object of my experience. And so kidney also. What about mind though? I think, okay, I can understand all that. But what about mind? Mind cannot be kshetram. Mind is me. Well, mind can't be me because I am the observer of all my emotions. That is why I can say I was sad yesterday, but today I'm better. Who says I'm better today? I say I'm better today. The mind is saying I'm better today, or I'm saying I'm better today. No, Jaykumarji, don't ask all those questions. Very confused. You keep talking. Don't ask questions. So, this person went to a psychologist. Psychologist means we have to air out our feelings and all. That's the session, right? And the only reason that guy is listening to you is because you're paying him. Otherwise, nobody's going to listen to you. There's no time to listen to others and all. But since he's going to become richer after this session, he's okay. He's happily listening to you. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. And then come back next week also. Because his story is not over yet, Our story is bigger than Mahabharata, And so it will never end. And so she or he went to the psychologist, and then during the session, he became angry. And so angry because of it. And the psychologist said, really, how do you know you're angry? What? How do you know you're angry? You're asking me how I'm angry? How do I know I'm angry? Is that what you're asking me? Is this what audacity you have to ask me? How do you know I'm angry? I know I'm angry. That's it. That's it. So even this person knows that I know I'm angry. I know I am angry. That means what? I am the knower. I am the knower. I am observing all these things. I know what's going on in my mind. I am calm now. And tomorrow I am all over the place. They say all these things. Who says I am? Who knows? I am the knower of that which is all over the place. Correct? Therefore, it's very obvious. What is obvious? The mind also is an object of my perception. I am not the mind. I am distinct from the mind. That I am not clear about yet at all, but at least I can appreciate that I am. There is some distance between me, the me that I'm looking for, and the mind. Mind is discrete. It's an object of my perception. Okay. And so, therefore, the entire world is Kshetram, including this mind, including this sense organs, including the mind also. Sense organs also is Kshetram. I can give an example. See, normally you can't see your eyes. You see in the whole world, you see throughout your life, but you can't see your eyes. And you need a mirror to see the eyes. That's the only proof that my eyes are there, you know. What is the proof that my eyes are there here? And that's the only proof. But then, when I go to the eye doctor, constantly they're doing this. How about this? How about this? Then how about this? Then how about this? Wait. No, put that. Put that back. That that means which that? You know, it becomes afterwards, it becomes very confusing, and you say, okay, I'm done with it. You just give me whatever you think it's right. And so what you have to say, and he's the guy, there is somebody has to be there behind the eyes to be able to say this is better, that is better, this is not better. I cannot say all these things. I as in EYE cannot say, okay. I must say that the eye is short-sighted. I must say that the eye is long-sighted, etc., etc. So, therefore, sense organs also is kshetram, an object of my perception. Okay? And so, but then now I understand all this. But why does Krishna only talk about shariram? Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidhiyate. Why doesn't he talk about the entire world is kshetram? Yes, I understand now. But you know what? The next one he's going to talk about is kshetrajnam, the knower of the kshetra. Okay. He's going to talk who that knower of kshetra is, who's kshetrajna. The knower is I, my dear friend. Your true nature, your true I is that kshetrajna. But then, when somebody asks, who am I? If I assess myself as to who I am, okay, nobody looks at the tree and says, I am the tree. Nobody looks at the house and says, I am the house, even though this house belongs to me very much. Even the relatives, children, parents are there. This is my father, mother, son, daughter. I say, nobody says my son is me, my daughter is me. There is no confusion between that person and this person. Never a confusion. Nobody says the dog is me, even though I love the dog so much. Okay? Nobody says. There is never a confusion with those things of the world. The confusion begins with the body. This is where the body starts. This is where the confusion starts. Body is where it starts. Okay, look at this. My house. My house. My house means what? The house belongs to me. That is why I am not the house, really speaking. How do you know you're not the tree? Because I'm observing the tree. The tree. How do you, what kind of question is that? How do you know you're not the tree? I am not the tree. But how do you know you're not the tree? That's all I'm asking. Is that a wrong question or what? How do you know you're not the tree? Tree's out there, I'm out here. Okay, good. We are getting somewhere. Hey, tree is an object of your perception. Number one. Number two, wherever I go, the tree doesn't come along with me. Therefore, tree is not me. Okay, that's not bad, not bad, not bad. Car. This is your car? Yes, it's your car. Is it you? Are you the car? No, 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 no. Car is not me. Wherever I go, car comes sometimes, but sometimes car doesn't come with me wherever I go also. Okay, so therefore car is different from me. All right, good, good, good. But this body is not like that, Wherever I go, the body comes along with me. If I stop, the body stops. Okay. If the body is hurting, I am hurting. Not only that, the car, at least it is my car today. Somebody else can possess that car. And so then that car becomes that person's car, not no longer my car. I'm no longer related to the car. I was the previous owner of the car. At least all this ownership changes. But with this body, the ownership is not changing at all. Not only do I say this is my body, others also seem to say this is my body. They all agree that this is my body. Okay. And therefore, there's unanimity in this agreement. And therefore, this body is me. Nobody disagrees with me. And therefore, it's a conclusion that all of us draw. Therefore, this body is me. But when I say my car can't be me. That's why I say it is my car. Otherwise, I will say it is I car. I don't say I car. I say it's my car. My house, my child, my parent, okay? My book. My book is different from me only. That's why I say my book. It can be your book or my book. My. But when I say my body, should it apply the same logic apply? What logic? Whenever I say my something, that something is different from me. So like that, if I say my body should be different from me. Why don't I say that? Okay. No, that is why the confusion begins here. I know that I am somehow, I that realize different from me, but I know that I've also taken this body as me many times. In what way do I take this body as me? Even though I say my body, I am dark, I am short, I am fat. They don't say I'm fat these days. They say I'm overweight. Overweight is a nice euphemism to say I'm fat. Fat is too gross a word to use. And so you should not say I'm fat. He or she is overweight. That is a good word to use. Okay, oh, I am overweight. Okay, all those are attributes of the body. In fact, I know the quality of the body. I am the observer of the body. This body is observed. That is why I can say I am overweight. Body is overweight. But I take that overweightness on me itself and say, I am overweight. I am blonde. I am blonde. Look at that. Now, the color of the hair, I am brunette. The color of the hair is used, superimposed on eye itself. Previously, at least the whole body. But now, the part of the body. I am short sighted. Part of the body, sense organs. Like this, we can go on and on. Okay. Superimposition of the qualities of Kshetram on the self. On the self. And because that confusion starts with the body, Krishna says, I don't have to give a big list of things that are Kshetram that you already know. I will start with the body. Because that is where the confusion is. You think Kshetram, the body is I, but really the I is not body at all. That is the statement he's making by saying, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetravithyabhidhiyate. Okay. All right. Yetadyo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Okay. Now he's talking about kshetrajna, the knower of the field. Kshetrajna means what? Kshetram janati iti kshetrajna. The knower of that kshetram. Whoever can say, I am not kshetram, I am knower of the kshetra. Okay. That is what differentiates me from the rest of the world. I from the rest of the world. And the Shariram itself is part of the rest of the world, part of the world. And therefore, what is left out? Don't say what is left out. What is left out is the most important entity in this entire universe. Okay, entire universe is Jadam. Jadam means inert. The only thing that is not inert in this world is I. That is Kshetrajna. That is Atma. That is Purusha. Okay. That is the topic of Bhagavad Gita. The Kshetram is the topic of science. So suppose you ask me, is there what is the difference between Bhagavad Gita, our Shastram, and science? If you ask, the topic of science is Kshetram. The topic of Shastram is what? Kshetrajnam. Kshetrajnaha, the knower of the field. Therefore, is science getting close to what our Vedas is talking about? No, science cannot get close at all. It may appear close, but it can't get close because science is observing. Science is gathering data. Whenever you gather data, it's always about something, and that something is other than the observer. Why? Because it's on the other side of this telescope is this observer, and that other side is not Kshetrajna. Therefore, that has to be Kshetram. Therefore, science has no access to Kshetrajna, no access to Atma. The reason we keep saying science is approaching what Vedanta is talking about is because science is rational. Vedanta is rational. That rationality is what attracts scientists to Advaita Vedanta. Okay? That is the only common thing. But that does not make science talk about Atma. Not possible. In order to talk about Atma, the scientist has to drop the telescope down. He has to get away from this proton-electron accelerator. Only then that guy can even begin to think about Atma. Okay? Which in English often we call as consciousness. So I want you to understand that Kshetra and Kshetrajna, how important these words are, how those two words define what I'm seeking. If I understand these two words properly, the entire Bhagavad Gita is just detail, one shloka after other we can go. But if that basic is not understood, then I'll be still floundering, wondering what is all this. Okay, so it's critical, and therefore we are spending a little extra time on this. And in the next class, we will explore this Kshetrajna a little bit and then move on to the other shlokas. Okay, and so there is. So there's a little more to talk about before we conclude this shloka. Okay? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you.